introduce our panel, though.
Okay, let's do that. We have an author on the panel. We have an NAACP Image Award winner on the panel.
Yes.
Okay, we have some amazing nonprofit CEOs who are doing great things for black women and for young black girls who are going to grow into black women. And so we truly want to talk to them about what excellence means to them, as well as what trials and tribulations they had to go to get through this point, because we all know how that is. And I want us to be real.
It's
okay?
ghetto over here.
It can get really, 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 really ghetto. And so as we celebrate Women's History Month, we want to make sure that we're being honest about those conversations and using this opportunity to talk about how ghetto things are and how we can make them a little less ghetto together. Can we get a round of applause for that?
Because we all can relate to that. It's tough being a woman, okay?
Yes.
Just doing the day-to-day. Can we just make some noise for that real quick? I know y'all feel me. All right, Steph, you want to introduce our first panelist for us? Felicia Pearl and Posse. Y'all remember her as the young Celie from The Color Purple? She's an NAACP Image Award winner. Can y'all make some noise?
Yes.
And she is looking fine, I might add.
Come on, dress. Listen, you know a black woman is giving you a compliment when they be like, come on, dress.
Look at the material.
Yes, bun.
Look at the material. Can we just...
Period. Yes, beat. Because what? What they say? All right.
Shay, don't start with me.
Now, next coming to the stage, we have to introduce my girl, Leah of Black Girls Can Do. Can you please make your way to the stage?
Shout out Leah.
Miss Leah Johnson.
And she looks good as well, I might add. Here.
The CEO and founder, might we add, helping black girls do exactly that.
Black girls
realizing
do. Shout out
that
to
they
Leah.
can do.
And coming up next, I want to introduce my soror. Shout out to all the girlies of DST.
Oh,
Period.
Okay.
Jessica Brown from the College Girl Foundation. Do it.
Who is also a Howard University alum.
it.
We got to say that as well.
So who we got next? Last but not least.
Okay, our good sis.
This is our sis right here.
Yes.
The one that be having all the girlies in a tussle.
Yes, she is one of our own. She is an author of a book. She is an actress. She is writing screenplays.
Yes.
She is also a reality TV star. You may see her from time to time on Love and Marriage DC. Our very own Miss Ashley Silva.
Make some noise. This blue.
Okay, yes, blue. Yes, curls. Okay, hold on now.
Okay, so we're going to have a real intimate conversation.
Y'all ready to get real?
Ladies, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, well, maybe I should.
Okay, if you ready to
I'm
get real,
a little jealous
say
you
ow.
guys have mimosas and we have water.
I don't know. Y'all should have went to the bar.
I don't know what that's like.
Y'all should have went to the bar.
I hate that for us.
We did go to the bar. That's why we have water.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I can't relate.
Can you give a round of applause one more time for our panelists?
Make some noise for the beautiful black women.
And when we were doing this is our second annual Women's Empowerment Brunch. Last year, we had some amazing panelists as well, and we wanted to make sure that we built upon that. You know, this is more than just being a name. This is really about doing the work, and these women up here are absolutely, doing the work. I like to always say that as women, especially black women, women of color, we are multidimensional, okay?
Make some noise real quick.
We're going to start, and we're going to direct some of our questions directly to you all. And we want this to be, a conversation with all of us. So
Real
don't
intimate.
feel like you got to sit quiet. If something resonates with you, snap, say amen, period.
Can we get an amen?
100. 100 with
We're
it.
all friends and family up in here, okay?
No cap. All right, so Felicia, we absolutely have to start with you first. And celebrate you being an NAACP
Congratulations.
Award winner. And listen, absolutely. I was watching an interview of you the other day. I was like, oh, we're about to have her on our panel. And, we knew you were coming to this before you won the award. But when I was watching the interview, you were talking a little bit about how you were scared at first to, play Celie in The Color Purple. And to have that emotion and then now win an NAACP Image Award, What has that been like for you when it comes to really showing up in excellence?
Well, thank you. Isn't it so funny when you want something and then you get it and then you're like, oh God, I didn't think I was gonna actually get it, and now I'm scared. But you know, I think maybe I said in that same interview, I really just had to release myself to the process and give myself up to be a vessel to tell the story of this character. Because Celie, one, this is like a legendary character that I think has stood the test of time. There's a reason they're remaking it. And, you know, I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I was like, let me do all that I can do, and then God, you got to speak to me and just let me do the work through you. And it just feels very full circle. It's a very nice, like, bow on the top of a beautiful gift that I've been given, so it's just like icing on the cake to receive that award and have my work be recognized, especially for like a breakthrough artist, you know, because I'm, you know, so I got the part when I was in my mom's house during the pandemic, making videos in my basement. So to see how far it's taken me and where it's led me to go is just so beautiful and such a gift for me.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Clap up Felicia real quick, y'all.
Because every time you see one black woman do it, you be like, you know what?
I know I can.
Be what I want to be.
Just saying.
No, but absolutely, and it's opening the doors. I don't know. I just always feel like I'm watching my cousin or my sister or my best friend win something, and so we were definitely excited for you for sure. Now moving to my friend Miss Leah Johnson, where Black Girls Can Do. And I've watched you do so many different things, actually. You are someone of many, many, many hats. Can you talk a little bit about what exactly your organization does in helping Black girls also show up in excellence?
Okay, so Black Girls Do, Celebrating Black Women in Action, was established in 2014. During that time, Instagram, that was the year of the influencer. And so for me, I didn't see many influencers who looked like me or even spaces that acknowledged, represented us, or even just paid attention to what it is that we were doing, and we were doing a lot of things. So I said, hey, why not get active in these streets, pull the women who are next to me to my left and my right, and get out here and link up, network, collaborate, and then build amazing businesses. And so that's what I've been doing since 2014, just celebrating all that we do. We are amazing. We are building, we are collaborating, again, we are networking and just fellowshipping. And most of all, being a resource, a collective resource for one another. And so that was the inspiration behind Black Girls Do, Celebrating Black Women in Action. Actually, all of you, so.
I love that. So this next question, I want to talk to Miss Jessica Brown. Listen, so I know if you went to a HBCU, you know it's kind of ghetto over here. Understand. It can be kind of difficult.
It can, yeah.
So, Jessica, I want you to share your experience at Howard University and how College Girl Foundation was born.
Wow. Well, when I first started working at Howard, it was after college. I had another job working in financial aid, and the best part about it was I was able to go back to my alma mater and give back to other baby bisons that were coming up after me to make sure that they had financial aid and a way to graduate and make sure that they were able to make their educational dreams come true. The sad part about that is after I saved the university $2 million, one day I'm escorted out the back door. And I couldn't understand why. You know, like, I go to work every day, unlike some of these other people that I work with. I'm helping these kids. Like, why would you let me go? Right now, in hindsight, right, God had a bigger plan for me,
Amen.
Which is why I'm sitting here. But at the time, it was just like, man, like, you know, how am I gonna tell my mama I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent and I got let go? You know, of course she's gonna say, Jay, what did you do this time, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to continue to teach people how to pay for college. I'm going to continue to inspire this passion to make sure that Black kids all around the nation are able to achieve their dreams. And so I started a GoFundMe. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be called College Girl. My friends was like, girl, you was crazy. You ain't about to help no kids. And this is that and the third. Like, you too lit to help some kids, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to show you, you know, even my mother didn't believe in College Girl. And now I stand before you today as a 2-time author, being on Good Morning America, having my own foundation, sponsored by Dark and Lovely, giving over $100,000 around the nation to kids. So the best thing that I could do and say to everyone in this audience is that there are some things that you see in your dreams that nobody else will ever see. And it's okay. You don't have to make people see what you see. but one day they are going to see it. And there was a day where I dreamed of having my face on a 56-passenger motor coach. And I have one of my students in the audience here today, College Girl Foundation. Say what's up.
Hey. We
And
love that.
I had one of my students here with me from day one when I had nothing, when I wasn't able to put my face on the bus. Now the other kids in the audience with them see our face on the bus, and we roll out to all these different universities and do all these cool things. And the best part about it is that sometimes you have to show people better than you could tell them this is who I'm going to be.
And that's really what excellence is about, because I feel like anyone who's in the building right now has had a job or has had to be in a space where someone didn't believe in them, and you just felt, even if you were on a black campus, if you were at a black-owned company, if you were at a black-owned, black-founded organization, you felt like as a woman you weren't believed in, or somebody was shutting you out, or that you lost something, but it was really just building you up for something better. And Jessica, I don't even know how we met. Do you remember?
We was both lit at Howard, so
We were lit at
ended up
Howard.
crossing
We were.
paths maybe at the end.
Look
but
at us now, right? But this is another testament to a lot of times those people who you went to college with, or who you're working with right now, who you're sitting beside right now. You just never know how connections are going to grow and how they're going to foster. And I think as women, especially black women, women of color, we have such an amazing way of just really nurturing
Absolutely.
connections and supporting each other. So we love seeing you here today. Okay, along with Miss Ashley Silva.
We got to get to our boo.
Okay, now I think does anyone else on the panel, Leah? I know you have children as well, right? Yeah. Jessica, no kids yet.
enough of them.
Enough of them, right? Felicia, any children yet? No. Okay, and we've watched Ashley, be a mother and be a wife, and now be an author, being a reality TV star, and really just go after your dreams no matter what anybody says about you. And we know that reality TV can be crazy. I don't know. It's my guilty pleasure. Anybody else?
Crazy. It's real crazy in these reality TV streets.
Yeah, so how has it been just striving for excellence? Because I didn't do it in the public eye. And, I feel like Felicia may begin to relate to this as well, having to make that strive for excellence in front of everybody and still being human. What has that been like?
Oh, well, as it comes to reality TV, I've realized, everybody's going to have their opinions all the time. And I am still learning how to, avoid the negative commentary and things like that, because people only get to see a very small part of who you are. They really don't know everything. So that's just where I'm at with that.
So let's talk about how you're able to stay grounded, right? Because mental health is very important. I feel like that's under the radar, especially for a lot of us black women. How are you able to juggle it all and keep your mind?
I started opening up about my mental health journey in 2017, a little bit before that, publicly. And I did it because I saw how the backlash on black women, how it was. And I just wanted people to know that mental health doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a look. It's not sad. It's not crying. I mean, it is those things, but it's also the happy face. It's also the smiling wife. It's also the mother that's always there with her children. It's not a specific look. So I wanted to open up about that, and once I started doing that, I had so many people who would reach out to me and be like, I would have never guessed you were going through this. I would have never guessed this was your story. And I would tell them all the time, this is why I started talking about it, because it does not have a look. And I think that I wanted to help destigmatize that.
Is there anybody else? Because I know I had a spell of when I was depressed, and I didn't even know that I was depressed. I was crying every day, not really being able to get up and do the things that I needed to do, and I really just thought I was tired. I'm going through a sad time, I'm tired. No.
Has anybody ever experienced that? Like
Anybody?
high
I know y'all
active
do.
depression, and you really just got to push through, and you don't even know how you're going to make it to the next day, and you have tears in your eyes, but guess what? You woke up and you're still pushing through.
And I think maybe all of you can relate to this. You can talk a little bit about this. Felicia, if there was ever a time where, you just did not feel at your best, like you was down in the dumps and you had to go out and turn it on. And as women, we all know what it means to turn it on. Like, all right, let's get it together.
We gotta do this.
Yeah, I would say fully the last month and a half where our film is getting such wonderful recognition, and I'm feeling like I don't feel good enough. I don't think that I belong here. There's stuff going on in my personal life that you have to push aside to, appear, I don't want to say like a character, but when people talk to you, they want to feel inspired. They want to be part of the joy of the journey. So you definitely have to like take off what's going on in your personal life to be able to be that mirror that they're looking for. But I do think sometimes, and I think I'm so happy that we've been talking about mental health, that I think people are craving looking at people they idolize fully human, and they want you to open up about the experience. So anytime I've been on a red carpet and been like, whew, I'm tired, they're like, girl, you too? Thank you for like saying it. We're all tired. Or like, I don't feel my best today, and they're like relating to that. So I think it's just, I see it as more as an invitation to be more open and more vulnerable.
I would say for me, I lost my father and my grandma within 6 months. Ooh. And they don't live here. So every time I would catch a flight to go do something as college girl, I need to go catch a train to Jersey to go see my father that's dying, and then the train to Philly, and then back to D.C. all in one night. And I was doing this for months and months and months at a time. It's hard to grieve when you have to support so many people, when you have to stand on so many stages and smile and act like you're happy, but you're really not happy.
And we clap it up for Jessica real quick.
Listen,
because
you
that
know
is
how
a
that
word.
feels.
I mean, we're on the radio, and from time to time, when my grandfather died, we have had experiences where I got to crack that mic and put a smile on, and it is difficult, right?
Yeah, you have to, right? At the end of the day, I know I have kids that relying on me. I'm their support system, right? When they have nothing, they come and get that from Miss Jessica, right? And everybody else around the world, my friends, anybody, right? They need Jessica, right? But one thing is, when Jessica's cup is empty, who refills Jessica's cup? So I've had to learn to love me. So I take vacations. I go by myself to Turks and Caicos or whatever and refill my cup.
Okay. It ain't nothing like a solo trip. I did one last year. I was like, oh, I'm not a mother yet, but I want this every year for Mother's Day. I don't want to be around y'all, bro.
But at the end of the day,
I
that doesn't
don't.
necessarily mean you love yourself, right? You in the middle of an island by yourself. A lot of people just can't do that. A lot of people
Facts.
can't go nowhere by themselves, right?
Facts.
Because now you have to live with your thoughts alone.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
That's a different type of living.
So let's talk about that,
Can I ask
because a lot of us deal with things in private, right? And so sometimes our thoughts really eat us up inside. Ashley Silva, let's talk about it.
I am a live in my head person. For much of my adulthood, I've been married since I was 22 years old. I became a mom at 22 years old. I've known my husband since I was 16 years old. My husband is a very prominent figure in this area, so a lot of times I would feel like I had to take a back seat to him, and I wasn't able to complain. Again, going back to what people thought my life was like. Well, it's like, you look like this, you have this, you do these things. And it was like the thoughts that are in my head, because I know what I'm capable of, but I wasn't achieving it. I was the person who lived inside of my head and got in my own way. And I don't think a lot of us realize how often we get in our own way. We're like, oh, this isn't happening for me. But a lot of times it's like, why isn't it happening for you? And that's why I decided to write my book, Do That Shit, because it's very simple. We have one or two choices in life. We either do it or we don't. We can sit around and complain, we can sit around and cry, we can sit around and feel sorry for ourselves, or we can make our stories a testimony. And that's what I decided to do, to get out of my own head, to share my story, to let everybody know that there's no face to one thing just because you're a mom, just because you're a wife. Even if you do feel in the shadows of whether it's your spouse, your siblings, your parents, whatever it is, that you can come out of it and make yourself seen. So that's what I decided to do.
I love that.
Hey, can I add one thing? So, as black women, we were taught to wear our trauma well. Like, we were taught to cry behind the scenes. But as we've seen, and as we're seeing, it takes a community. It takes your sister to, hey, say, what's up with you? Like, I don't see you smiling today. Like, what's going on? And so we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to choose to stay in that trauma-filled representation of us. We don't have to wear the cape anymore. We can be authentic to ourselves, especially to ourselves and to those around us, and say, hey, I don't have it today, and I can't give it to you, but check on me tomorrow. And it's okay to stand up and just say that and stand in that truth. So let's learn to continue to do that, and then we're being our authentic selves.
And to learn how to take off that armor of, like you said, being that strong black woman,
Yes.
I think that has hindered us.
Yes.
Because we're not allowed to say, I'm having a bad day. I'm not feeling like
I'm
myself.
tired.
I am tired. I am weak. I do need help. that's not okay for us as, like, we are the only species of people who have to say, I have to be a strong Black woman all the time. It's unfair. We take on the burden of everyone else, of everything else all the time. And there is no weakness in saying, guess what? I need a break or I need help.
Okay, so I want us to do this. Let's encourage everyone, even ourselves,
Yes.
for the rest of Women History Month. 2 phrases when you're feeling tired or like you don't want to do something. How many days we got left? I don't know. It's at least, 5 more days? Tell them, get somebody else to do it.
Can we clap it up real quick for that? Get somebody else to do it because it won't be
Get
me.
somebody else to do it.
Because it won't be me.
2, 3.
Get somebody else to do it.
Here's another one. I had to choose me first. Okay? I had to choose me first. Now, you were talking a little bit about, Jessica, refilling your cup and some of the things that you do, go on vacation by yourself, be with your thoughts, refuel, as refilling your cup. Felicia, is there something that you do? I want to inspire, a woman out there who may be like, I don't do nothing to fill my cup back up. Let me get some ideas. Do you have one thing that you do that just really recharges you?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 things. I think the first thing, which is something I had to learn, is how many people are actually willing and ready and waiting to support me and to ask for that support. Like one of my best friends who is here, her name's Kate, and I would have just never thought I could have called her in a moment of need. And I did, and it was like, well, what do you need? Like actually give back to yourself. And there was constant check-ins after I did that. And I think that's something I had to learn, is to be vulnerable. And then the thing that I swear by, I do it every Sunday, is I take a bath. I did it while I was filming. I learned, it was another Black woman on our set. She was our dialect coach. She told me, take a bath, and in the bath, make it what you want it to be. If you want to do flowers, bubbles, whatever. But as you're sitting in the bath, release everything that you want to release from the week, and then let it go down the drain, and it's gone. And then refresh that way.
What about you, Ashley?
No, I'm a bath girl. During the pandemic, I used to have tub talks on Instagram. It's kind of weird
I love
now
that.
thinking about it. But yeah, I would talk to people on Instagram while I was in the tub. But it does like help you reflect and just help you relax. I absolutely love that.
So let's talk about purpose, okay? Because with the outside noise and all of the things, we are still able to achieve the things that we are working for. I want to start with you, Ashley. How are you able to find your purpose?
Or do you feel like you've found it yet? Because I feel like there may be, someone out there. I feel like my purpose that I'm doing right now may not be what it is in 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. So
Yeah.
what's that been like for you?
I've always found that my passion and my purpose are very equivalent. I've always been a super expressional person. I'm talkative. I talk way too much. And what I've learned about that is I meet so many people who come to me and they're like, I would have never said that. I would have never done that. And I'm like, why? And most of the time it's because they're afraid to be judged by other people. I have a daughter who I love immensely. And the biggest thing that I always tell her is, you have to impress no one else but yourself, not even me.
I love that.
I don't want you waking up in the morning saying, is my mom going to feel this way about me? Is my dad, my friends, whoever's watching? You have to be you. And something I say in my book is, like, who were you before the world told you who you had, who you were supposed to be? So often we get so influenced, especially now by social media, followers, what this person's going to say about us, what that person's going to say about us. My purpose has always been to show up as authentically as myself as I can. And I feel like when you do that, you find out what your true purpose is. And sometimes that's not your career path. Sometimes your purpose is just to be the person who listens or just to be the person who gives or whatever it is. So I think sometimes just listening to yourself, shutting out the rest of the world and what they think, that is how you find your purpose.
And Leah, like I had mentioned before, I've seen Leah do a ton of different things. She still has many, many hats as a business owner. How did you find your purpose, and when did you embrace your purpose encompassing so many different things and doing it so well? Because that can also be a burden. Your purpose or what you feel passionate about sometimes can feel heavy, like, I don't know, God.
Oh, wow. Baby, let me tell you, my journey, again, started in 2014. I started out as a blogger, and I had this blog called Fresh Daily Ink. in which I was highlighting creatives, small business owners, musicians, anyone who was in the DMV area. I wanted you on my platform. But I also knew that I needed a team and I wanted to build community. So I guess with that being said, it found me. I knew that I could bring together people, and I knew that I could also build stories and provide a platform for others to see and be and feel inspired. And so I literally brought together, I think it was maybe like 5 to 10 women from around DC, and we were covering everything in DC. We even did red carpet events, and then we also started to network between one another, and we started to feed into one another, and that's how my purpose found me. And I knew that I had a gift to bring people together, and how was I going to use that to build my legacy, but also build someone else up in the meantime, and have these people pouring into me. And of course, I do wear many hats, and so pivoting and rebranding along the way, but staying grounded. I also have people around me who are encouraging me and saying, hey girl, you fucking up. Like, sit down and figure it out. Like, we're here for you, but figure it out. And I do curse a lot, y'all, so whatever.
We not on the radio right
Happy
now,
Sunday.
so you know.
Right, you know, on God's Day Sunday, and I have a mom and 2 daughters, so at the end of the day, my mom would be like, girl, you Leah J to them, but you're Ashley to me. I birthed you. And so I'm here to tell you that you have some things to do before you can pour into somebody else. Like, fix yourself, get it together, and then you can show up.
I love that.
That's deep, right?
Okay, and I love to say also too, sometimes your 100% look different every single day.
Absolutely.
And as long as, you know, you're showing up in that 100%, no matter what it looks like, you had a good day, okay? You did something good that day. Now, Felicia, I want to talk to you a little bit about being on set of The Color Purple and being around so many stars. I know I had this feeling when, I first got into radio. I knew this was something that I always wanted to do. And when I first got into the game, I was surrounded by so many people who were veterans to me, who have been doing this for 10 years already, 15, 20 years already. And I had to show up and, being creatives, we always want to be good to the other creatives. Like, it's great to be good to the people who, are listening or who are watching the movie, but you want to be great to, those folks that really know what it takes to put in the skill and the time to do this craft. So how did you sort of get over the imposter syndrome of being on set and then winning an award?
I mean, it might just be a thing about Black people. They forced me out of it. I was trying to be in the corner, hiding, and you know who the cast is, like Danielle. Taraji, especially, when she heard I was from the DMV, she was like, oh my God, my DMV sister, we gonna hang out, girl. Like, it's just that kind of energy the whole time. Fantasia, too, like, hi, Flea, anything you need from me, girl, we can work together.
Why do you sound like her?
Can I tell you
That
something
is
really, really
crazy.
quick that I've just noticed? Y'all might not feel me on this one, but you could be Fantasia's little sister.
Low key.
I know I'm not the
Low-key.
only one that saw that, okay?
Thank you. She is the best. But all of them, I think especially Fantasia has talked about it, and Taraji and Danielle, they have in their moments in their career, especially starting out, felt like they were othered or the only one or they were isolated, and they saw me and were like, we're not going to let her feel that way. So what can we do to rally behind her, to help her, to give her what she needs? Like, upon meeting them, I got their numbers, their contact info. If you need anything from us, please let us know. I would go to set and watch them, and they would let me like sit in their trailers and ask them questions, or I just watch their work, and they're all masters at their craft, so just by watching them, I learned a lot, and it was just the most welcoming space I could have ever asked. And I'm really nervous for the next project, because I'm like, is it not going to be like this?
You got it,
They
friend.
say it's not going to
The
be like
bar
this all
is
the
up
time.
there.
The bar is high.
Yeah, I got
'Cause you
very,
did that.
very lucky. I got very
Okay,
lucky.
so this is a question for anyone who is willing to answer. I'm getting real on this one because, Felicia just talked about having sort of this band, this circle of Black women that she was working with that really uplifted her and was that foundation for her to, come out and really feel like she earned and deserved to be there. But have you ever been in a space where you thought you were going to get that support and you didn't from another
Absolutely.
Black
Or
woman?
especially, not even just from another Black woman, but from friends and family that you would never thought We'll look at you
know
sideways.
what's so crazy? I've always been me. I've always been outspoken. I've always been who I'm going to be. But I do have friends, especially since being on this on a reality show. I have friends who I see who love them some Housewives of Potomac. Can't wait to take pictures with them. Can't wait to post them. Ain't posted nothing about my show ever. Never. And I'm like, that's a little effed up, girl. I done been with you in the trenches when neither one of us had absolutely nothing. And at times it is a little hurtful, but I feel like it's more of a reflection of them than it is on me. But for me, I'm the exact opposite. Quick has always been on a show with other women, and he always comes to me about his co-host. Like, he'll tell me, like, whatever show he's on, and be like, this is who we're looking at. And I'm always like, I'm not going to say I handpicked every co-host, but I've handpicked every co-host that he's had. Like, I feel this person, I feel like you guys have great chemistry or whatever it is. But I personally don't feel like I've ever gotten that back in return from, like, a lot of women.
Wow.
At all.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Talk about it.
About black people. But more so also black women. I sit on very powerful spaces, big boards of Fortune 500 companies as the youngest. Just the other day, I was the youngest U.S. Black Chamber Award winner of Power Women 50.
Clap it up for Jessica real quick.
And what I can say is that we do a lot of talking, but we don't do a lot of action, right? I have these beautiful black children that I'm trying to take around the world, and you say you got a bag for me to do that for them. And then Jessica, email me, yada, yada. Girl, I done email you 3 times. Then I done ran into you because you don't think I'm in your circle, baby. I am more in your circle than you think I'm in your circle. I am the circle. I am the table.
Period.
So when I run into you again, Jessica, man, can you resend me that email, yada, yada, yada. I didn't get it. I'm going to send it. It's at the top. Right? But you're not letting me down, you're letting them down. That's number 1. And number 2, what I will realize is this, and share this with you. Black women try to keep their bag, but one thing they don't understand that there's a bag for everyone out here. Okay, you get a bag, you get a bag, you get a bag, you get a bag. You're getting a bag because Ashley Silver's Ashley Silver. Leah J is getting a bag because she's Leah J. Felicia's getting a job because she's Leah J. I'm getting a bag because I'm Jessica Brown. There's enough bags for all of us to go around. So you are not a gatekeeper to any type of bag. But the problem is that we don't share our wealth. That's why we don't have any generational wealth.
Come on.
So if we begin to share our network is our net worth, then we will be able to build economic stability and generational wealth within the black community. So that would be my only issue with black women, is that I am not your competition. I am your sister.
Amen.
In this field of service.
Yeah. And can we just also make sure that we, acknowledge why sometimes things are that way? Because we have been conditioned to believe that there is no space for all of us, that there's not room for all of us. So when there's already a black woman in a space, sometimes because of the way that we've been conditioned and how we've been, prone to think that, this woman is coming to take my spot. But I have never been in a situation where I worked with another woman, especially a black woman, and did not get further along than where I already was. And so I think that's always a testament to the end result, that we are better together. We're better when we work together, and we can just get more things done. So I want to encourage us, because I feel like, you may have always had those little feelings, whether it was, she can't come to take my spot, or you may be on the other side of things. Sometimes I felt like, I don't want to threaten this person. I don't want to step on their toes.
Yeah.
I want to dim my light just a little bit because, this is her spot, and I don't want her to feel like, I'm competing. And that's not always the best thing either, because what is dimming your light? What is a black woman dimming her light when that's always what we've had to do? So one thing that we are going to do today is shine our light, honey.
Yes, but
Glow
can we
and
just
grow.
say this really, really quick? And I just want to emphasize this. Whatever is for you will not
always
miss
be for you.
It
Yes.
will always be for you.
Yes. Can we give a round of applause to our panelists? Miss Ashley Silva,
Jessica Brown,
Miss Leah Johnson,
Felicia Pearl and Posse.
The one and only. Thank you so much, ladies, for spending your time with us, for sharing your gems, for being vulnerable, for being transparent, and for giving us and the women in the audience a little piece of you. So thank you for
So
that.
we have a little token of our appreciation.
Yes.
Oh, I like gifts.
You like gifts.
Okay. And we just want to award you and give you a little something to take home
Yes.
for Women's History Month from 93.9 WKYS. Can we have you all come to the stage?
And
with
we do
our
love you
honorees
guys.
awards?
We appreciate you so much
Yes.
for all that you do.
Oh,
Make some noise for our lovely panelists.
For all you do in the community, for your family, for your friends.
Thank you so much.